Have you ever driven any of the Cobras at all?
No, I haven't.
But it's a whole different experience, and I think it's an eye-opening thing because they don't really track like a modern car. You really have to understand that they get away from you a little bit. But once you understand just how far they go, you can kind of really throw them around.
Talent, inspiration.
It's almost as if you're sort of freezing time.
What do you mean you want to interview me?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
A friend of mine said this the other day.
You know, have the back end out and push in the corner where you want it and get on the throttle and bring it out, you know, and make all the sort of the oddball handling characteristics work for you. But it's totally unlike driving a modern car.
But it's also quite interesting near the end of the race when you're still trying to stop the car with the brakes.
Oh yeah. None of the suspension has the sophistication of modern suspension, so everything is kind of moving around on you depending on how hard you get on it. So to keep the car balanced, you've got to understand where it's going to get away from you and where it's going to come back. So it's really fun to drive.
On the weekend in the Volvo, it was in a way making it pick wheels up. It picked the front wheels up as kind of the main characteristic of it.
Well, with that, you'd find a lot of similarities on that, you know, except you just got about 3 times the power.
Yeah, exactly. You know? It's a bit easier to do. It doesn't use as much momentum.
So if you can get a chance to drive a regular Cobra Roadster for a while, you get a feeling on it. And that's really squirrely because this has a subframe over the top that makes it a little bit stiffer, probably about twice as stiff as a regular Cobra.
Yeah.
So if you can get used to a regular Cobra, getting this one, it'll feel absolutely delightful. You know?
What was the main story behind this car then?
Well, the main thing was to build a car that would compete in Europe. Because in the United States, our circuits are only about 2.5 miles around. So our top speeds over there are only about 140 miles an hour.
Yeah, okay.
So to bring a car over here, we have to run 200 miles an hour. So under the rules, we were allowed to change the body, but not the chassis. So this body enabled the car to go from 160 miles an hour to almost 190 at that time. And of course, we ran 197 at Le Mans with a toe down the straight. So it's all aerodynamics with this body. So other than that, the chassis are about the same. And we were doing it with very little horsepower. We only had about 385 horsepower at that time. Now they're getting well over, 450 to 500 horsepower, the same engine. So quite different, So if you have a chance to drive one of these, you can find somebody that'll put up one of these. We'll give you a car that you can go to Le Mans with or Spa or any place and really smoke them on down the chute. You'd enjoy it,
Definitely. For me, they're my dream car. They're just fantastic.
Yeah, they are pretty special. And but as they say, get hold of a Roadster and just drive it for a while. And once you understand that it moves around a little bit, then when you get in this car, you'll fall in love with it. It really is amazing.
As you say, being that bit stiffer, it's just
it's just that the torsional rigidity on this chassis, which had to be done, of course, to make the body. Because if we put this body on a Roadster chassis, all the glass would have popped out of it and everything because it was moving around so much because all of that 2-ladder frame didn't have much movement. And now it's pretty stiff because that had to be built in to make the body rigid. We took and 3D scanned both cars because both the cars are quite different.
Yeah.
And that's the car that I did originally in the United States, and then this is the first Italian body, but the chassis are identical.
Yeah, right.
So that car, the shape on it's a little bit better. You can see the roof line is different than this car, and that car is about 4 miles an hour faster than this car.
Right.
Just on top end, just on the shape. So that aerodynamics gets pretty critical at that speed. He did a beautiful job on the car in Italy, and I could go back and do a little trimming on this car and then make it even better than that car. It's all just experience. That car, we built the entire car from my first drawings until we raced it in 90 days.
Right.
So it had to be perfect right out of the box. Our big competition, of course, was the GT40s, and it took them 3 years, and we did it in 90 days. So it's a pretty fast car.
Totally,
But the main thing is it was well developed and reliable and fast, and they had to go through so much development on the GT40s. And of course, when you're operating with a large corporation like that, you've got all these engineers and everybody's trying to do everything. It's very complicated, We had like 5 mechanics and built the whole car and everything. It's a real tight team that put it together. And you don't have to put up with all this corporate crap of, meeting and, are we going to move this bolt over here or move that there or whatever, you just do it and build it. And if it doesn't work, you change it and fix it.
Yeah.
So that's the advantage of development with a small, tight team.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you get a chance to run one.
Thank you. I really do.
Great meeting. Yeah, thank you. Great weekend for you.
Thank you
was
very much.
very good. I think it really opened a lot of people's eyes. Congratulations. Okay.
Thank you.
Just wondered, do you know?
Oh yeah, I normally stay on miles while I'm back. Normally.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Very nice. Actually, I prefer
in front.
Yeah, just so it doesn't.
Yeah.
She's really good. She's amazingly good at staging people.
Can you lean in a bit together?
Okay. Get in.
One more picture.
Don't be frightened. Bring your shoulder round a bit.
All right.
There you go.
Get a little closer in there. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Lovely. I'm guessing that you've always got your eyes open because you're great at holding that.
All right.
Just take the thing as well.
Of course.
Oh, look at that. Is that the one actually from the race?
Yeah, it's one from
the
race.
Right.
Take it
What
out
a
the
great
box.
thing to have.
Wear it.
All right.
There you go.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Lovely. Right one. Oh, looks really nice. Twist it to me.
There.
There.
Got it.
That's
All right.
The Taskmaster, sorry. Okay, one more.
Good.
Thank you.
And all the best, guy.
Thank you.
Take care.